Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's um, videos tonight. No spirit boards tonight, I don't think. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some of my cards that I bought especially for Christmas. So we'll dive into the reading, see how it plans out tonight. They can come in through cards. I got this pack. Yeah. It's a special Christmas tarot card. Interesting. So this is the pack I got. I'm going to use this tonight. One of them anyway. Let's dive into see if anyone could come behind my camera. Let's just move that a bit more out so you can see my cards. That's a little bit better. Well, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely evening. It's a bit rubbish on the telly as usual, but so I'm gonna see if he comes around like this way because I've got no spirit board. Forget that idea. I feel like a bit dangerous in a way. Whatever you believe in, you believe in. So normally they got there's like this one here, the back bottom is the King of Gifts. I just put that one there. Did Henry have the person that I've had the spirit in here for a long time? Did he? That might have been him as a child, and probably had no present, so I don't know. And probably a bit different back then. I'm not sure. And then oh, the temperature's dropped in here. The lightning tree. I'm going to try and pull this out a bit more so you can see the cards. Okay, I hope you can see them. Let's move it a bit further back. Just a little bit better. I'll sort the table out in a minute. Right, let's have a look. Let's try doing it that way. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, so, so we'll dive into his issues. Yeah. That was gonna fall out. 4 canes. That would have been like the 4 swords in a normal pack. He had some kind of a death. Someone died in his life, I think. There's like, that's a grave. I think 4 people he knew died. Who knows? The past life cards I wish I could find. Could have done one on Henry. Yeah. Yeah. We don't know the evil of some that moved. Did you see that? That moved over there. Look. Gosh. Okay. Interesting. Whoever's here. Are you here, Henry? Right, the Queen of Gifts. That might have been some kind of person that you may know, his mom. I don't know. Just waiting and trying to knock out my hand already. If anyone can hear, like, in the background, it's all quiet and everything else like that. So, the Five of Good Cheer. So that lady looked like she passed on. So there was a bit of a sadness at that time, that Christmas time. So I'll put all these here so you can see them. I'll just put them straight. I don't know why they were like that. Anyway, that lady might have passed on, this one here. So like that might have been his mum, or could be his sister, I don't know. And that's could have been his wife, I don't know, passed on. So he could have passed on, couldn't he? Her son, I don't know. It's just like very confusing cards at this time of night. What was Henry's issues? That's probably why he might not like women, because he was quite a bully to me actually. You don't know half of it. I was crossing over because I was quite poorly. So I might have been seeing him more than my parents saw him. A Page of Candles. Like a little girl. He might have been a little girl in the family, perhaps, or just a friend that looked like, or just a female friend. Who knows? Page of Candles is like Page of Wands victory. There was kind of happy times for them, but not when this struck here. This struck here, that this lady. I wasn't, when I was crossing over, because I was really poorly. Right, 8 of Canes. That would have been like, she felt trapped. Might have been some kind of accident, and she was trapped by, I think might have had another, she was trapped by Henry, a little bit, because it feels like she had another person in her life, perhaps. She was kind of had the problems here with the family. Yeah, I could feel the draft around me. Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, right. When I see those friends of his, and I asked them, because I was in the spirit world, I asked them on the benches if they were the spirit people, because they looked a bit weird. And they said, yeah. And I said, where's creepy? Bleep, bleep, bleep. And they said, after century. And they said, who, Henry? Is he being called again? I said, what's new? 5 of Canes. So that probably might be his friends. But like that first one, he was kind of, yeah, he had this weird look on him, to be fair. And then no, you know you're right. They were weird. But no one else seen them since. It's just me. um, the wheel of the year, um, the wheel of the year. So he might have had a bit of a bad time of it, like the wheel of the year. He became the devil because he was wicked, a wicked man. Yeah, the magician. Thought that might turn up. The magician. Yeah, yeah. So, when you're crossing over, to the spiritual world, like I was, and my parents were there, he even knew who my friends, my family, friends around here. Everybody like that, because one worker said, "Oh, you got him." I said, "Yeah," and he said he was going to tell me a bit more about him, but because this man said, "Be careful of his spirit, because he's quite evil." And I said, "Oh no." A Three of Gifts. Although the Three of Gifts, he might have been left out. This looks like an older. This looked like one of his friends' mothers. Here, that looks like one of his friends' mothers here. Yeah. I'll keep it on my video because she's got one of my videos. But anyway, that reminds me of his friends. And of his the first friend I spoke to. So that was like, just looked like that first friend of his. Yeah, so this is getting interesting because it's night time here now, Christmas Eve. I wonder if you're still here, Henry. I think you are because his bits enough noise. Man. Wow. But, wow. There's the there's the devil. The Marian Lord is the devil. Wow. That's dangerous, isn't it? Like the moon. He did look like he did have a son. I'm not sure. Or that could have been one of his friends. The moon. That like they Mr. put a spell on his friends and the family. I don't know. The moon represents normally a spell casting, and that could be me. And they were watching me from before I was even born, because of my family's background. So I feel like there's something around me. Yeah, there's like he started opening his microwave. Yeah, right. The list. There's a few names on here. Who's naughty and nice? Were they a naughty? I don't know. It looked like they were because of here with the devil. Whatever you think after devil means. Yeah. So this is kind of Henry's lifestyle. Because back in the day, they probably had more diseases than we did, more disasters than we did. But that looks like the late 1900s style, I feel. And this is a bit creepy because these two look like that one of his friends, the main one. Yeah. So they, well, the hangman, usually represent something that went on. One of them hanged themselves. Could be Henry, I don't know. I like to do 3 more cards. I might do another set because it's quite interesting, isn't it? To say the least. King of Candles. The research I've done on him, I know the surname. I'm not going to say who, but they would have known the royal family from the 12th century, but they would have known a lot, and the area they originally came from was North Yorkshire. That's all I'm giving away. But they moved to Coventry, and a lot of the children were born in Coventry. So yeah. So the kid here again. This is kind of creepy because them look like they're related, kind of. Here, those their friends, like here, like the friends here, because that looks creepy. Ace of Gifts. They didn't really have much wealth. They probably did, but they were quite of a well-to-do family. So like, man, sometimes people don't. They're well off. They tend not to do Christmas. 4 candles. They had a feast. I'm fine. Yep. Like death. Yeah, there's a death card here, and that's what I was experiencing for the last 3 years of my life. Yeah, but sometimes the death card is also a transformation. And this is the rise of the crown. So, there is a lot of issues going on in my life. There is a lot of issues going on in my life, to be fair. Yeah, there are a lot of issues concerning my health at the time when I got that spirit board and he had switched the video off and he had jet black hair, and he was here before we've got him on the boards before, but he only tapped, and he only tapped he only tapped yeah. He only tapped at one stage, and he must have got stronger over the years. Equals to lot of issues in my life. I was physically dying with I had the COVID and the flu at the same time, and you know, things started to escalate with Henry and his friends. Henry knocked me over in Bell Green, and there was different energies there. It was weird. Then he knocked me down near the library. But he didn't stop there. He wanted to finish me off. But something inside me had the strength to actually fight back. Yeah. I actually fought back these illnesses, and yeah, I probably reminded him of someone that died. Probably looked like Toe, I don't know, but they were awful beings. If you want to try the spirit board for yourself, be at your own risk. To be fair, I didn't think this would happen to me, so to speak. I always thought it was a load of crap until this actually happened. So when you're also grieving too, when you've lost a lot of loved ones during the lockdown and you couldn't go and see goodbye or anything like that, and when you lost two good friends, I think my grief got out of control. Whatever beliefs you believe in, the devil is real. Believe you me. I see him occasionally, sometimes the corner of my eye. I try to knock it out, but everyone asking me if it was real or not, who knows. I can't describe what I went through, to be fair. But he was here for a long time before he actually came on the spirit board. I think he's been following me for years, to be fair. I think I saw him at the spiritual church, sitting at the front, because I always look around and he was there, and I said, "Who's that creepy dude?" And no one could see him except me. So he must have been following me since he seems to know a lot about me. And yeah, so I'm still struggling with this, and I'm still struggling with this. I think someone's here, and I try to do my things, and then do you think it's not real? Try it for yourself. I'd suggest you don't, because like if you that way inclined, I wouldn't touch the spirit board again. Never. So if you ask me to touch the spirit board, it would be a straight no. When you are dying yourself, physically dying, physically, I've had a head injury, so COVID got to my head, my injury, because that's why I was shielding, and yeah, but who knows what's out there. So just be aware of what you're doing. Yeah, you know, it's just I was here for the last 2 years, or 3, I can't remember now. Started before I was 16, and no one was here but me. Explain that one. This wasn't my home. It was something else. It's like I was in the spiritual world. Because of my illnesses, I was slowly dying. But I had a few spirit team that was there looking after me. And so when you have that issue, you're gotta find how you get back to this world. This first time I've seen this world in such a long time. Yeah, if you think it's not real, try the spirit board, see what you get. Conjuring is actually real, and they will pick on the vulnerable if they are poorly. So if you're poorly, don't mess with the spirit board, please. I suggest you don't. Be at your own risk. The only ones that believed me was my parents. He even met my parents. And last year, he told me who he was, because he said to me, "Oh, my mum's nice," and I looked at him. I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "You play the spirit board, don't you?" And I said, "That's full of fake news." And he said, "You reckon?" And then I had a few to drink. I said, "Oh." I looked at a bottle of wine and I said, "That's full of crap." He kept saying, the favourite word were, "Do you reckon?" or, and I said, "Really?" And then he said, then he came into my living room, whatever living room it was at the time, and my mum rang up. She said, "Are you alright?" I said, she asked me if that was a spirit, and my mum said, yeah, because my mum's side can see spirit, have this silly gift. But anyway, and then a lot of time started laughing, and he said, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "It's full of crap." And he said, "You really think so?" And I said, "Yeah." And then he said, then I said to him, I said, "Have I made up with someone or something?" And he said, "No." And he said, "Why?" I said, "I take the piss now." And anyway, that Christmas, when he went down to get the stuff, because I wasn't very well, and David was not here. He was. And when my mum spoke to him, because he spoke back, Mum knew there was something strange going on, and my mum said, "Is she a bit out of it?" And Henry said, "Yeah, a little bit." Well, when she's done, just put her to bed. And he said to my mum, "I carry her up to bed." That's creepy. And then I thought, well, and then the worst thing that happened, I can't tell you on air. I don't know if it did, but then when he pushed me, I heard a crack on my back, and then my spine moved over, and it's like gone that way now. And then my knee cracked on my left one, and it kept coming out bruise after bruise. And I couldn't get in the shower properly. And he was on my landing. I smiled at me. I said, "You got a bloody cheek." And then he looked at me, and I said, "You sold me out." And he said, "It weren't like that." I said, "Yeah, it was." And then I thought it was David on the landing, but he was out. And I said to him, "I only have to look at a cake and lose weight." What my nan used to say. My weight loss gone right down, which my doctor's impressed with. Man, and my sugar's gone right down. But anyway, it's a story that should be never told again by any of you, because it could happen to you if you mess with the board. Or you think that it's he kept saying this was his home, because it's not his home, because the land is his home, because it was a farm. I checked all the history and everything, big history here. And yeah, the land is here, is his. Well, if he ever come back properly, the land goes back to him, because the farm was demolished. Check your history out. And when they attacked me, when they attacked me, this is where it ends, because I don't want to talk about anything else about that attack. But he liked to bully me. I don't think he liked women. Yeah, and he used to come on the Thursday. Even my friends heard him, because they were in the spirit world as well, without them knowing. But I get really nervous at night time sometimes. But I just wanted to tell you my story about the spirit world, and about how the spirit world is calling you if you're really poorly. I was still leading the life that I was leading, but in a different kind of dimension. I was still going out, and I don't know how they did it. To be fair, modern day warlocks are birthday, modern day warlock witches, who knows. But I just wanted to tell you that I was particularly dying, because my shoulder hurts more. When I fell out, when he pushed me, my shoulder hurt. So I'm going to call this "Don't let your grief control you." Or we've had a rough time of it through this lockdown. It ruined people's lives. Like it's kind of interesting that I saw him last night. He comes in and they spirit turn their back on you. He has he's quite overweight. I said, NHS is gonna love you, mate, ain't they? If you were still here, they probably would have told him off. put a light sorting out my sock drawer. There was one incident, one summer, I think it was this summer gone. My feet were cold, and then they go really hot at night. That was for a year ago. And then I said to Dave, I said, I live upstairs. And then he said, can you get me some socks, please? Because my feet are freezing in the summer. But he came down, Henry did, and I thought, he looks at the side of you. And he gave me my socks. I thought, I said, ain't you in the shower yet? And when I looked up, it was him. And then Dave came down and he said, you alright? I said, yeah. And then he had one of my towels on. Stinks. And then that one day, he came through the wall. And I thought, you're taking a mick. And then I thought, hang on a minute, Dave's upstairs and you're here. I said, if you're going to town, thinking it was Dave, if you're going into town, we need to pay council tax and 2 months up front. Henry said, what's the council tax? Looked at him, it's gone out. I said, this is 21st century, I think, one of them in it. Anyway, because they didn't have that in their day. Might have been something else, I don't know. But anyway, I just want to enter here. I want to wish you Merry Christmas. And I've got a few cards to show you. Even tarot are the devil. Who knows? We don't know, do we? Someone said to me, you've got an attachment. No way. But anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching my channel. It's really much appreciated, and thank you for all the subscribers you give me and the nice comments you give me and engaging with me and thinking that this channel is only a little one. And I've been through a lot. I wanted to tell you my story. Thank you for watching me throughout the year of 2025. I'll raise a glass of water. And I won't have a drink till later because I want to finish my cards. I want to show you my other cards. And yeah, so many blessings to you.